Hey guys, Dennis Chang here, filming these videos back to back with my main man, Zach Martel. Okay, so here for this video, I'm going to use Zach's guitar built by Josh Greenberg, one of my former Homestay students of Larkspur Guitars. Wonderful guitar here, amazing. Smells like hippie. Oh yeah, the smell of sweat. British Columbia, the smell of British Columbia. I love you, Josh. All right, in this video, I want to talk to you about, that's how they say it in the West Coast. I want to talk to you about Gypsy jazz technique. And I just filmed, while I was in New Jersey, a companion video to my book explaining some of these details. You can find this book on Amazon.com. I don't know when the publisher will upload the video, but if you buy the book, you'll have access to this video. And I wanted to talk about certain things here in this video, namely about the technique that I use nowadays, which is highly inspired by the traditional technique, but also kind of mixing different things, because when I play contemporary gypsy jazz, I'm looking at the microphone here so I just get my voice clearly, but when I play contemporary gypsy, I like to mix techniques when I use the pick nowadays, whereas in the past I was very strict about doing everything kind of like quote unquote the correct way. Now I mix things. So in that video, I talked about, in the book as well, adopting a hybrid position. So actually, I've gone to a point where I can actually sometimes just vary the angle of my wrist. So the more straight I get my wrist, the less I get points in the month of June. But I can do alternate picking. I can do sweep, things like that. But also at the expense of power. But when I adopt this technique, which is what I use most of the time, this angle technique, then I get the traditional sound. So nowadays, I find myself going both ways. Let's say I'm bi-curious about technique. At the end of the day, though, this is a choice you have to make for yourself, depending on what you think you might want to play. If you want to play really traditional stuff, then the original traditional technique is probably the best technique for you. And also using one of those big picks. I use these thin picks because it's good for all the different styles. It's a compromise. Obviously, if I want the traditional thing, the big picks are good. Just using downstrokes. Picks with a P, okay? Pick. As I said in my companion video, I talked about these two famous players, Oli Soikili and Yosho Stefan, who are these two players who use a hybrid technique as well. And that's one of the reasons why they can play some ultra fast lines that are probably very hard to play with the traditional technique. I wouldn't say it comes at the expense, but these are modern players who use a lot of mics or pickups or whatever. So the amplification is usually no longer an issue. But me personally, I am a very, very big fan of natural amplification from my fingers, my hands. So if you listen to someone like Paulus Schaefer from the Rosenberg family, or Charles Limburger, for example, a lot of these French gypsies who use quote-unquote the pure technique, you'll hear a very big difference in volume. On YouTube, when you go, you might not hear this. It's really in person. You've been there, right? You've seen like how explosive some of these players can really sound in person. The YouTube thing or whatever cameras, they compress the sound, so you don't really get the full thing. But it's a pah! This is something that I've developed over the years from playing with those gypsies. It was developed in the campsites at jam sessions when multiple rhythm players playing rhythm. I wouldn't say necessarily too loud, but they're playing with a bit of confidence. There's one criticism I have of modern gypsy jazz players, like non-gypsies, they're right. People say, oh, don't play too loud, but at the same time, don't play too quietly either. Depending on who you're playing with, especially if you're playing with me, I need a little bit more support because I like to go for it. So let me give you a demonstration of what this powerful right hand technique sounds like. Let's do a Coke head.
Yeah.
1, That's that powerful right hand. I trained to be able to do this using the traditional technique. If you use the traditional technique, it comes much easier than you can play loud with any other technique, but it requires more effort. So at the end of the day, the point of this video is to tell you, in the beginning, choose a technique. You don't have to commit right away, but like choose what you think you might want to use. If you're into the old stuff, the traditional technique might be good for you. But if you feel you want to be mixing styles like bebop and whatnot and all that stuff, maybe a hybrid approach could be good. And of course, as you practice, you could change along the way. So there we go. Check out my book on Amazon. Check out the companion video. Leave a nice review. Oh, please, I need the review, please. And work in that way. Experiment. It's good to experiment. We certainly experiment a lot, didn't we? There we go. That right hand technique, just it's coming from the wrist, but you have to practice with as much relaxation as possible, because actually while you have to be as relaxed as possible, it's true that it requires a little bit of force. The work, you're relying on gravity to really push through the strings to get this snap kind of sound, as opposed to the smooth sound. You want this, right? Even when you play fast. So that's the difficulty. So good luck.